Listen. 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 I want to fuck that cartoon rabbit just as bad as anyone else in here. But there are people legitimately dying. There are other things to focus on than the titties of a rabbit.
Look, Jack. President McCullough Hamish and I are committed to cancer. We're gonna cure your cancer. We're gonna cure your cobalt-19. We're gonna get you the shot. We're gonna vacillate you, man. We're masticate you. Okay, man? I'm Dr. Jill Biden is gonna personally do you up, man. She's gonna shoot you right up as many times. Look, man, I'm not trying to say what I'm trying to say, we need to get these troglodytes under control. These guys, the last thing you want, man, Jack, the last thing, Jack, that you want, man, is a bunch of Australopithec Australians messing up. I'm sorry, man. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said masticate, man. That means chewing, man. I meant to say masturbate you.
Yeah. For future reference, Joe, it's not cobalt-19. Cobalt's atomic number is 27.
Oh my God. I'm sorry.
I can't believe I fucked that up, Joe.
I'm sorry,
someone get
man.
handlers in here.
I shouldn't have said that. McCullough Hamish can be the president now. I'm done, man. I'm sorry, man.
Sir, you're needed in the handling room.
Sir, we have a DEFCON 5. We got a bunch of Syrians here who are playing kickball. We got Syrians playing the kickball.
Send in a drone.
Send in a drone, sir. Semper Fi! Semper Fi!
The handling room, that's for me. Joe specifically ordered that one for me. Is the cartoon rabbit ready?
There may be an optional man in front of that, a man handling room.
You can happily
it gets omitted sometimes.
I feel like this is...
You can happily take me to the man handling room.
I don't know, because there's levels to it.
All right. I'm feeling spicy.
There's levels to this shit, man.
Yeah, there's levels. Like, isn't there that level where like the trees are all made up of the wires?
What is Top Man handled?
Top Man? Ew, that rules.
Like I should have like
Top Man. I'll get you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get these fucking criminals.
I should have a better President Joe Biden voice, but like it just feels like there's plenty of time, you know. Like he'll be president. He'll be president for at least 6 months, and it'll feel like 6 years.
Yeah, and these days that's gotta inflate times 2 at least, maybe times 3.
It feels like there's time to work out an impression of him, and I feel like that President Harris is going to be so boring that we'll probably just keep doing impressions of Joe. Right? I mean, she's boring, right?
It's better than the other guy.
If she becomes president, it's going to be
you can make it more fun.
What Joe is doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish there was a way to make Joe fun instead of just being reminded of like somebody's grandfather who's dying.
Yeah, that's it, right? I mean, like, you know, you love your grandpa and your grandma, you love them. But, you know, deep inside, you know, you always know, like, oh, man, this is what it is. This is what's going to happen.
Then you hear him hawk up a lung, and you're like, whoa! Is it coming?
Who doesn't love Mima and Corn Pop? That's all I'm saying. Oh, my. You know what I am saying, though?
What are you saying?
Do you guys know what I'm saying?
What
are you saying, man?
What are you saying?
Well, I mean... I think at this point it's probably rather obvious what I'm saying, huh? I think I'm saying this is the Sons of Trier live stream. You know, I think I'm saying that. I think I'm saying I'm Dan Cohen. Do you guys think I'm saying that? Do you think that? Do you think that?
You shouldn't have said that, man.
I think you said something like, also Eat the Rich is joining.
Tonight, I'm joined by Eat the rich.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
here, and I'm here. I'm hungry for corned beef,
Corned beef, corn pop.
corn pop.
Corn pop don't stop. Once you pop one corn, your corn don't stop. Man,
Gotta eat them,
I'm sorry.
lick them.
I shouldn't have said that.
You gotta lick them.
You gotta lick them.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
How many
whoa.
licks does it take to get to the center of a corn pop?
Imagine it doesn't take many.
Come on, corn pop. I'm almost there. I'm gonna. Oh man. Oh, I didn't expect it to be.
You know he'll like fall out of a plate or something.
Tastes like bleach, Mac. You gotta eat more pineapple.
Just like oops, it fall trip on his own leg.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, whoa.
Woo!
Is that it?
That's it. That was a good intro, and I'll tell you what. You know how else I got introduced? I got introduced Cenk Engels actually.
Self-hating capitalist back for another round. What
Yeah.
round are we on?
It's 500 maybe. This is your 500th episode.
Feels like that.
You're gonna get a gold watch, old man.
Oh, thank God. I was worried I wouldn't get a gold watch.
Yeah, and then but the problem is the watch. It's
It's in the mail.
It's
It's in the mail.
it's in my
Okay.
ass.
Oh, in the ass mail.
I had to hide it in
quite
Vietnam
postal.
from the boop. That's where it's at. Your father gave me the watch that he had hid in his ass from the boop. Okay, I get it. They were North Vietnamese. I get it, sir. I get it. You don't understand.
Way up in there.
Way up in there, Morty.
Cenk's watch was in his father's ass and my ass. And before that, his grandfather used to keep the watch away from the jaboop in his ass.
Is this from that movie that's about what that garage is for storing and isn't for storing?
Yeah.
I gotta say
Yes.
that watch has got an interesting story arc.
It does. It's been
So it's a little guy. It started from the bottom.
yeah, literally started from a couple of bottoms. It was never a top.
Here, now it's here.
It was in his grandfather's ass to hide it from the Jews. And then his grandfather shat it into his father's mouth, and then he hit it up his ass to hide it from the boop. And when he was dying of the
same.
And then and at the end they realized it just came from a Sears catalog.
Yeah, they just have a weird fetish about talking about it being in people's asses.
Makes it
all.
more valuable.
That's Christopher Walken in a nutshell. You know what though? You know who else is Christopher Walken in a nutshell? True horror.
Oh shit! Hey everybody, how's it going? Hey, just picture. You know what? You can't see me, but I want everyone who's listening to just picture me doing like a sassy thumbs down right now.
Yeah.
I'm just so sassy, and I'm like thumbs down, and I like kind of kick my hip out a little bit, and I got like a cake in my other hand, and I'm just like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I know you can all see me. I know that, but I'm doing it. I'm doing the sassy thumbs down.
I gotta take you into another sidebar in HR. I can't believe you made fun. I can't.
Oh, that's right. Oh, fuck. I forgot. As of like what? As of like a few hours ago, we're not supposed to do that for
Yeah.
some kind of reason.
Well,
Even though when John McCain did it, we like literally pried his jaw open and shit right down his fucking esophagus when John McCain did it. Yeah, okay.
we're
All right.
we're not allowed because of certain. We'll say a certain group of people who are very good at banking. Okay. Who
The Mexicans.
John and I no.
I
John
heard
and
I heard you don't even have to be good at banking. I heard you just have to have the bank and just money just comes out of it.
some of us who are named
No enough
John
money, no,
and Dan,
they're in the bank, right?
who are part of the banking community, shall we say? Okay.
French Guyanans.
No, not quite. Get closer. They just asked. They gave us a list of things that maybe we can't do on the show, and one of them is make fun of Kristen Cinema when she's denying people $15 an hour. So.
But I saw
Do they start with a J?
Yes.
The indigenous Javan people.
No.
Wait, you guys, hang on. Before we judge her too harshly, I saw like all kinds of different accounts that are probably not all the same person like trying to explain that like that's the wrong bill for it to be in, and like it should be in a different bill, and like we'll do it later, and like trust us, and like we promise and stuff, right? Like we shouldn't like judge her too harshly because like like we don't know about politics,
Listen, the Jamaicans are going to attack us. We just need
Not,
to let it go.
you're close. Still, it's not the Jamaican.
The Japanese?
There you go. You got there.
I
Yeah.
knew it.
Yeah.
I thought it was just nebulous aliens.
Well, that's what they called us back when Seuss was writing those books. Nebulous
Ooh.
aliens.
Oh.
These also calls the fifth column, and I always confused that with the fifth pillar of Islam, which was like jihad.
Sounds about
Oh,
right.
it's Jordanians. Damn it.
No, we're not Jordanians. It was Japan. You got it right. John and I are Japanese, actually.
Huh.
Yeah, what is the fifth pillar of Islam? Is it jihad? No, it's the pilgrimage to Mecca. The sixth pillar
Yeah.
is jihad. I always forget that. My madrasa is going to be so mad at me.
At least they let you up first, and then they bring you down.
Yeah.
Sure, that's the Hajj? Yeah, that's the Mecca, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, pilgrimage to Mecca. That's the fifth pillar of Islam. I said the fifth pillar is jihad. The sixth pillar is jihad. That's the controversial.
Did you guys
pillar.
have like a history or like teacher that like rolled their eyes like when the pillars of Islam like literally did you have a guy roll his eyes through teaching you the pillars of Islam? Because I totally did.
No, we had a
I
very
think I had that.
strictly like deterministic teacher whenever I was in school. She was very old and very dedicated to the role of being an impartial jury to like almost
Yeah,
a weird
okay.
extent, right?
Okay, yeah,
Where it's
I see
like,
that.
okay, we get it. Everyone sucks or is great. You don't really know which way you're supposed to go with this. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna get through this together.
I'm gonna drop something in the general, and you tell me if Kristen Cinema's Balladopedia picture does not look like Stormy Daniels.
Hold on, let me.
Oh boy.
Does that not look like Stormy Daniels? Am I just too horny and crazy?
No, I don't think it's
I
possible. to be.
mean, like the Kirkland brand.
It's got that energy of like the way that the photographer always coaches people to kind of like bend their neck around in a weird way, but then the photo is supposed to look like they're standing up straight, but really they're not. Like it's got that energy.
Well, here, this is the comparison. This is what brings me to say it. That's more than a passing resemblance. That's like a body double thing. Like if Stormy Daniels had been like Uday Hussein, like Kristen Cinema would be her body double.
What happened? Like, I mean, it's just a blackout. Like looking back, it's just a blackout. But like, okay, did Avenatti go to jail?
Yeah.
Okay, so then after that, had she already secured the bag, or did her dreams of like securing a bag like just vanish like a dream in the cold morning light when that happened?
I don't know. Let me go find out about those lawsuits. Stormy Daniels.
Because he was gonna tear up a bunch of motherfuckers, and then he just got nuked. I think something to do with Nike?
No, he was wire fraud.
Mm,
Yeah, he pulled a libertarian.
that sounds right.
Oh, Daniels is lost as of last month.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, she got the Supreme Court nuked her.
So that's just
surprise.
how far out of the news. That's how far out of the news cycle it was.
Yeah.
In a world with no Trump, absolutely no one gave a fucking rat's tiny red dick about what the fuck happened to her. Okay, great.
Yeah, well,
Good.
I mean, the Democrats exploiting a sex worker to their advantage when it's opportunistically good, and then throwing her away is not at all like the Republicans opportunistically using a sex worker when it's convenient and then throwing her away. I mean, they're completely different things.
That checks out. I mean, that checks out.
I've never heard a more solid argument, really.
Yeah, I'm looking at my solid argument chart, and damn.
Yeah, I know.
Checks out.
I'm telling you, man.
Live detected.
I really am the thought power behind the podcast. If it weren't
You and Corn Pop are golden.
We are super good. I want to see corn pop.
But you know what? It's okay the way that they, just completely fucking jacked her around on a fucking stick like a little puppet. It's fine as long as we don't say anything about Kristen Cinema. It's fine because everything will balance out if we do that.
Yeah. And can I just add, Kristen Cinema is a bitch. We want her 15.
Yeah, I don't think it's so hard to predict anything at this point because anything you say to them, they're going to be like Parliament Funkatarian or whatever. And I'm just like, they're just going to keep saying these things for 2 years or 4 years or however long it takes them to lose power. And it's just supposed to make you sad and tired and feel like that you want to lay down.
Would you guys be upset if I did a temporary face reveal for what I look like and just made that
No,
the art for a minute? Okay.
no, not at all. I believe I saw one that you did where you did it both ways and it was really funny where you did 2 posts.
Oh, I do a lot of things both ways, sir.
No, you did it both ways. You were like,
I eat the ass and the pussy. And the
you were like,
man pussy.
ladies.
Those are the balls. Yeah, so I'm gonna put this in chat for you guys just so you know what what I look like for real. Because we never met in real life. Even during the live show I wore a mask.
It's true.
Yeah. It's just a real quick face reveal. I apologize for being so horrendously ugly.
Well,
You can forgive it.
I apologize so much. And look how hideous I am. The quarantine has just.
Take it away. Take it away.
The viewers
I mean, I
don't
don't-
deserve this.
I don't have to meet anybody in real life anymore. I mean, I'm post ego death at this point. I mean, the borders between myself and yourselves, I mean, they're gone.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just one entity that suffers together and experiences joy and little bursts together, and it just nobody's getting off this trade, man.
Oh, here's a great tweet. I'm so fucking glad I didn't vote for this trash party. My conscience is free and clear.
Oh,
Bitch, we're gonna
Jesus.
die. We're going to die. I'm glad you're
Holy
feeling
shit.
good.
Like,
Huh.
yeah, I literally just pictured a person saying that, like, on the deck of the Titanic. Like,
Yeah. I
well,
I didn't vote
when
to
we're
vote
all
a stupid
freezing to
vote.
death, just remember, I said this boat was dumb.
I said the boat was sinkable.
Like, motherfucker, you're on the boat.
Yeah.
Like,
All I'm saying is like when I do this shit, like when I make a prediction,
Remember,
it's bad,
Susan?
I'm not
Remember
happy.
when they said the ship was unsinkable, and I said that wasn't possible? Well, look where we are.
You fucking chuds.
oh my god.
God damn, dude.
Yo, did you see that? Like, okay, it was like earlier today. It was a painting. It's an old painting by this weird fucker Nicholas Roerich that like walked around in the Himalayas and painted a bunch of fucked up shit. But he had this one that was called like something about a chud, and I was like, what the fuck? This was 1912. What the fuck was a chud in 1912?
It was a cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller.
I mean, you would think, right? You would think, but I mean,
would.
like,
I'm impressed, actually. And that came off the top of your head really fast.
What?
well,
Didn't you know that's what chud meant?
No.
Oh
it's a
man,
dope ass movie. No, yeah,
Yeah. we're gonna
it's
watch that
cannibalistic.
movie together.
It's cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers, man. It fucking rules.
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks, but I mean, like, a lot of horror movies that suck, like, actually rule.
Yeah. No, why would you layer that there? There's why would you fucking layer that there, you stupid goddamn program?
There's like so many that suck that actually rule. Like Horror House on Highway 5 sucks, but man, it owns.
I'm trying to get it to where you guys can hear the soundboard, and I have the soundboard. We're just gonna give it a quick test right now.
That's my soundboard.
You pigs in human clothing!
Did you guys hear that?
Nope.
Really?
But your joy really helped us out there.
Just your
Aw.
triumphant laughter right afterwards was great, just by itself. Just like,
Pigs in human
haha.
clothing!
I almost got your asses. I just wanted to tell you guys what I thought of you.
I'm sorry.
Oh man, this fucking
We'll get it.
sucks.
We'll get all the right wires jacked into the right jack holes. We'll get it.
We will.
And then people are gonna wish we didn't have a soundboard.
Yep.
That's my goal. I want you guys to be like, I wish fucking Dan hadn't did that. You guys really didn't hear that?
No.
I enjoy it.
How
You
about
pigs in human clothing!
No.
how about now?
No.
I'm about 95% certain that picked up on the stream though.
You pigs in
Like I
human
could, okay,
clothing!
I could tune it in on another device like I did when we were fucking with Twitch the other night, but it makes this weird, it makes this weird fucking vibration like come out of the speakers.
Yeah, don't do
Like
that.
I don't know if it's safe, man, because it just gradually got louder. It sounded awesome. I mean, I did kind of want to like, walk
Record,
into the little
utilize
tunnel that
it.
was opening. Yeah, like I wanted to go to that place where the hum was coming from, but like I don't think I'm gonna do it.
I wonder if I can get it to hook through. I really want to see if I can get this to feed into Discord so you guys can hear it when I just tell you what I think of you all the time. Just, oh man, because this is what I think of them.
You pigs in human
Is it about our dicks?
clothing!
Makes me so happy.
It's about our dicks, isn't it?
No, not yet. I mean,
We've only just gotten our hands on a soundboard. He hasn't gotten the dicks there yet.
I gotta find the dicks.
Oh yeah, I thought you had the dick ship.
No, I don't have. I should get the dick ship. Oh my god, I should get the dick ship.
Don't remind me about the dick ship. That shit was ahead of its time.
It really was.
Really magnificent.
You pigs in human clothing!
This is fantastic because anytime I can go quiet, I just hit a button now and just fill in with that.
No,
Yeah.
that's
You guys don't
Yeah,
even
that
know
would
what
have
it
been
is.
a perfect chance for a button.
that's the listener's quiet time. That's their time to reflect on the cool stuff that we just said and to imagine the cool stuff that we might be about to say.
Magic, the magical stuff.
Oh yes.
Can you guys hear it?
Do we get magic words?
Okay, can you hear it now?
You pigs in human clothing!
No.
Go to live real quick. Do me a favor in the Discord. Go to live and look at my screen.
Okay.
Right? So you should see
Okay.
just on my screen. You should just see a weird box.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hotkeys, numpad.
Yeah.
You pigs in human clothing!
Hey, there we go.
Oh, you heard it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's how much you know I love you.
Well, I mean, we are.
Yeah. So I gotta start adding sounds to that.
You're just making me think about the pig man now.
Yeah, I assumed he was just calling us pigs again.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
I mean,
guys-
I was.
Wait, you are a brilliant philosopher in many of your own rights.
Yeah.
Your comedy is a little predictable at times.
Well,
Now,
I am obsessed with
we
that
have a
line.
very similar mind for it, so obviously I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah.
But we're not going to pretend I don't know that you are calling us pigs in human clothing. And I can't
Fear
hear
is
it.
freedom!
I just want to be as clear as
Subjugation
possible.
is liberation! Contradiction is truth!
Yeah. This is so much fun. Dude, I swear to God. I'm gonna clip that
I'm lemurs.
entire show.
I'm lemurs in an overcoat.
No.
No pig. No, just lemurs.
You're a long pig just like the rest of us. Because we have long dicks.
I'm just thinking about the pig man all the time now.
Squee.
Man, bear, pig.
Man, bear, pig. That was an okay South Park bit for a while.
Was?
Like, didn't it come back? Like, I'm trying to
Yeah.
think. I think they did like a reboot-ish episode of that, and it was really bizarre. I remember thinking like how incredibly irrelevant like Al Gore had become as a concept by the time that it
Yeah.
came back around. Like, holy shit! Like,
What was great about it?
It felt really boomer brain, yeah.
It was like they was like, oh Jesus, Al Gore.
Yeah.
yeah, they're pretty much like in on the joke. Yeah, like a lot of stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I think I was always more impressed with their show than I was with a lot of the other comedy shows, just because
Yeah, they just make a good show.
yeah, they at least left like a bunch of big gaps in it to where they could crank out some shit that was from like that week or whatever. I always thought that's dope, you know. You can work that fast or whatever.
It's impressive, but like they fell into a trap that all conservatives end up falling into eventually. They just staved it off for a really long time by um, relatively for somebody with a conservative mindset, right? They they started hating everything instead of just like parroting it,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
And it's weird too to think like, okay, those dudes are so savage when they attack certain things, but then like when they do the really politically correct dude and the plot is that he's having a relationship at work, and it really grosses out like their liberal values, like everybody, which is a good angle, but like you're just not going hard enough. Like that was only from a couple years ago, and like now, like during complete liberal takeover, they're like reading slam poetry on top of a mass grave at this point. Like, I guess it's just hard for satire to keep up. I guess like the
Yeah.
bar is very high.
Yeah, and as a counterpoint, 4 years ago when they were envisioning this character, I'm sure 5 or 6 years ago, they didn't have any expectations that Donald Trump would be our president.
No,
You know
no,
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the world has gone a little more topsy turvy than I suspect that they were expecting it to go.
yeah, definitely.
No,
I mean, it
not even Alex Jones saw that coming, and he pushed like tooth and nail to make that happen.
Oh
Right.
yeah, yeah. They all had well everybody
You
including
pigs in
Trump
human clothing!
no, everybody including Trump himself had a backup plan. And I think we can assume at this point that Trump's backup plan was to be like, they took it from me. They wouldn't let me be your daddy, your beautiful president. They wouldn't let me. And like, have like a media company or like a TV show or something where he basically just said that over and over again for 4 years in between like monologues about, whose fucking stupid New York party sucked the most ass. Like he had his backup plan. I think
His
he was
backup
really
plan was
shocked.
not a backup plan. I think that was his main plan.
Oh yeah. You're correct. Yeah, that's actually much more correct. Yes, that was his main plan. There
And
really
then
was
he
no.
won. And it was just like, okay, I guess I'm gonna be president. Then I can definitely make money off of this.
Do you think he knew he was going to burn whatever cred he had left with his latest trophy wife when he became president? Do you think he factored that in? Like, after this is over, I'm going to need a
Listen,
new
you're
one of
giving
these.
him way too much credit if you think he thinks about his trophy wives' opinions at all.
But I mean, like, just as a commodity. Like, do you think that, like, as soon as he got elected, he was like, oh, I'm going to need a new one of those after this. She's
He
not
was-
going to like this.
He was thinking that totally independent of whether or not she was going to like the
Yeah, he
It's about time.
yeah, he's like, ugh, I think she's 50, too old. Not for a young sexy guy like me, Donald J. Trump. Ugh.
Do you think we get to watch that motherfucker get married again?
I wonder.
I would doubt it.
It would be so hysterical, though.
It would kind of rock cock to see somebody just like one of these, like Lauren Boebert or whatever divorces her husband for him.
Oh my god, that would be the ultimate.
That would rule so hard.
And then they both like have the fucking cocked and locked fucking ARs during the wedding, and they just fucking accidentally shoot each other.
Oh. Well, there goes my
Legally,
hate
these
again.
are jokes.
Yeah, well, legally, there go my fucking nipples again, dude. Jesus Christ. God, that would rule so hard. She's just like, I love my president, and she's like scratching her pussy with a handgun and just accidentally pulls the trigger because she's got poor trigger discipline. I said it. And then like everyone's like, oh shit, Lauren shot herself in the pussy, and Trump's like, folks, if my wife can shoot herself, she's the best at shooting herself in the pussy. Like in the middle of the wedding, she's bleeding, and he's just like, my wife can do it the best. She's the best at shooting herself in the pussy, folks. Nobody else can
She
do
did
it
it on-
better.
She did it on purpose.
She did it
It
on
shows.
purpose, folks. That would rule. That was so fucking rule.
I mean, it just goes back to their whole thing of like, well, I mean, we talked about it before. You know, she baited everybody with the whole like, I'm sitting under this like dangerous thing or whatever. You mentioned it was like the guys aiming the guns at their cocks. Like,
Yeah.
it goes back to that, but it's like, it's so ingrained into their thing now. Like, for generations, like, they're just going to be like, just doing these things in front of people that they perceive as liberals or whatever the next evolution of liberals are, like without even really remembering why they started doing these things.
Yeah.
That checks out.
Oh, I'll follow philosophy. Yeah. Dude, I'll tell you what. I think I'm gonna go through all the Simpsons episodes and just rip out the good quotes for a soundboard.
Yeah, there you go.
I think it's gonna be
That's
more
not a bad
profitable.
soundboard.
No,
option,
No,
for sure.
and Kill a Kill.
I'm
That's
sure
a
someone's
lot of
already done it too.
episodes.
You could subsidize your work.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't see them coming after us. I mean, shit. Everybody had all those dope like fucking Black Bart Simpson T-shirts when I was growing up and shit.
Yeah.
Since Wave.
Yeah.
Well, I could never do a Dankmas. I can't. I can't do it. Hold on. There's another one, and Eat the Rich. You might be familiar with this. If anybody's familiar with this anime, you will be. I heard about it years ago, but I finally found it on dub. So obviously, I don't listen to subs. I don't speak Japanese.
Right.
I think it's
Some of that
presumptuous.
shit's dope.
Just real quick.
It
I think
depends. If it messes up the meaning, I'll go subs. But otherwise, it's not really necessary.
you know what? I think it's presumptuous because I'll hear people say like who don't speak Japanese be like the Japanese voice acting's better. It's presumptuous of you that you think you know how the fucking Japanese voice acting sounds.
Like there was only one time where somebody ever sold me on that, and it was the cat that does Alucard from either version of Hellsing in Japanese. They were gassing me up and they were like, "No, you got to hear the Japanese guy." And I was like, "Well, this is that same bullshit like you just said, where they're like just weebing out and they're presuming to know like how to judge Japanese voice acting." But then like literally like the English guy is good, but then the Japanese guy sounds like fucking like grave dirt fucking crumbling from the outside of a fucking tomb or whatever. Like literally like that's the only time. I don't know of any other time where it's like credible. Like it's just the tone of this guy's voice sounded like, you know,
a badass.
Dead Vampire Lord or whatever. Yeah.
Oh man.
You know who I missed? We were talking about Demon City Shinjuku the other night. You know, in all the old manga shit, the guy that played the villain in that movie, that it was in like everything.
Yeah.
I miss that guy, man. I don't know who that dude was, but in my brain, like clear as day, I can hear him
What was
just like
that?
I don't know. Like I've never looked it up, but in my brain, clear as day, I can hear him yelling like half the quotes in the little manga trailer that used to play at the beginning of the VHS. You know,
Hustler.
you're laughing because you know
Hustler.
exactly what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I think
That fucking trailer with the KMFMDM.
that is pretty badass. I was just like I'm
The
totally
KMFDM was Street Fighter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, KMFDM did the Street Fighter anime?
Yeah. Well, no, they did a trailer with it with Street Fighter with KMFDM on it.
Really?
And
What song?
it would be at the
And
beginning of
it was in the movie too. It was pretty dope.
people
It was
are
a pretty
always
dope
doing
thing.
that shit.
It was
Oh, they did Ultra.
it was about as anime as you could get.
They did fucking
Good
Ultra.
old classic stuff.
No shit.
I used to be so obsessed with Street Fighter. Like I fell off so hard because I got an Xbox instead of a PlayStation now, so like I don't get to play Street Fighter 5 and I don't get to have like my soul crushed like a lot of people that still play it, like when they just totally overlook like buffing classic characters to like, you know, tweak like whatever the new thing is or whatever.
Shit, dude. That's fucking Ultra. That song is a fucking banger.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it is.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like that trailer at the beginning of like any manga VHS, like if you rented like Ninja Scroll or Ghost in the Shell or something, that shit was like it would be in my head like half the day, just walking around, just thinking, yeah.
Man, I'm just trying to think of all the fucking sounds I want. Did any of you guys ever play Persona 3?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I didn't.
you didn't
I
play.
have not.
Okay, true. The Nyx boss fight, where she gives you life advice as she's trying to kill you.
Oh yeah.
That
Absolutely.
that shit rocks.
Dude, that whole soundtrack, like, who is it? Is it Shoji Meguro?
He's the one who does Persona, yes.
Yeah, man, that's a great soundtrack. That shit, like, I played that shit just independently of the game for fucking months after fucking that game.
I
I still
do.
go back every now and again.
Yeah, I still play that soundtrack. It's full of bangers. This is just gonna accidentally become the anime episode.
Well,
That's what's happening. I'm really okay with it tonight. I don't know why. Normally I'm like, oh, I don't want to talk culture, but not tonight, dude.
Well, your kill the kill soundboard, man.
You
Terrible
pigs
time
in
to go down
human
for that.
clothing!
Yeah, really. That-
dude, I was just like, when I went and watched I watched the first 2 episodes of that shit, and I was embarrassed that I didn't immediately go watch that after watching Gurren Lagann, because I love fucking Gurren
Yes.
Lagann. And I was like, oh, if only there was something else like this. And then, like, fucking Kill la Kill was sitting right there. And if I'd done any fucking research at all or had any free time, I would have known that years ago.
Oh, and it's Shimonetta. I put the picture of the anime in the chat. That's the one. I wanna rip that one from the dub because I watched like 5 minutes of it and I was like, holy shit, this is just gonna be loaded with all sorts of offensive quotes. This is gonna rule.
This looks like one of the more, like, I don't want to say just like normal stuff as a genre. That covers so many things, like, right?
Yeah.
Like, did anybody ever see Detroit Metal City?
No, but do
I
I
have
need
not.
to
I've heard
remember?
about it though. It
I
sounds
have
familiar.
not.
It's really good, but it's just about normal stuff. It's just about a guy that wanted to be like a Japanese pop star, and he had to take a job in a metal band, and then the metal band got really popular, so he has to keep doing the metal band. It's great.
Fucked up.
Summaries don't do things justice.
And you must also understand that it is futile to resist. I'm gonna do it right now. Hold on, where is it? Attaining one's dream requires a stern will and unfailing determination. Oh man, the fucking quote though. Let's see if I can do that one from memory. The moment man devoured the fruit of knowledge, he sealed his fate, entrusting his future to the cards. Man clings to a dim hope. Yes, the arcana is the means by which all is revealed. Beyond the beaten path lies the absolute end. It matters not who you are. Death awaits you, and then fuck. Oh shit, she means it now. I've been in this. I'll tell you what. With that fight, I tried 3 times and died after like an hour each time. She kept kicking my ass. I started fighting like an hour before my shift at a call center, right? I started fighting. And then I was like, shit, do I turn the PlayStation off or not? I was like, fuck that. So I just turned the TV off, went to work, came back that night, and fucking finally did the deed. But you gotta understand something. I started at 10 p.m. the prior night, and I got off work at like 9:50 and just flew out the door and got home at 10. So that literally was a 24-hour boss fight for me.
Jesus, those, like, I love those games, and like, it's made to give me the ultimate like insecurity, like anxiety brain virus to prevent me from. Okay, I'll complete each one once. I'll be completely like disgusted with like how bad my social links and like percent completion and shit. And then I'll go back and I'll try to have some kind of perfect game that it's literally built so that you can't have, right? And I'll get
You gotta use a lot
Not
of time.
without massive amounts of time like a kid.
Yeah.
right, like, and I'll get to like day like 70 or 80 or something, and I'll be like, oh fucking, I didn't bring the fucking beef bowl to Chie on fucking Wednesday or whatever, and be like, oh fuck it,
Point of fucking order. Chie was in Persona 4, sir. Why don't
Oh
you learn
fuck.
Why don't you learn your goddamn personas? I'm just here for her hat. Like, I'm just here for Nyx's hat, the hyper androgyny, the sword that's longer than Sephiroth's sword.
Yeah.
I'm here for
Yeah.
all of
I
it.
mean, they went over the top. A lot of that stuff, you see it
Very
pop
long
back up
sword.
years later. Although I gotta say, the main one, like, I feel like Dark Souls, like, I mean, obviously everybody that fucks with video games like knows what Dark Souls is and shit, and everybody says, "Oh, these are great monster designs," blah blah blah. I feel like Dark Souls, I see it pop up in not so much like movies and stuff like that, but drag. Like my old lady's out, doing the big drag race party with the gals tonight, and I'm sure when she comes back, she's gonna be like, "Check this out." And if it's anything that's even remotely like spooky or horror adjacent, it's going to be something where I'm going to say that looks like a Dark Souls boss. Like, I mean, Dark Souls, man, that whole like evil pointy hat kind of situation,
Yeah.
like that shit just slumbered in the design of that game for years and then just blew back up in like weird avant-garde fashion and drag and shit. And like Persona though, I see sometimes too. Like I'll see shades of like the designs of the personas themselves, because there's no rules for it. You've seen them. They're made out of any material, they're shaped any kind of way, they have any kind of proportions, right?
Yeah.
Always enjoy the design in those games so much.
God damn, they're so good. One of these days, I really am gonna sit down and break down these fucking games again. But that means I'm gonna have to play each one of them again, which that's not the worst thing in the world, obviously.
Right.
Then I like have to give it a critical lens, and to really do it justice, because like, oh, so fucking good. I don't give a shit. I don't care what fucking bitches say, like when they're like, "Oh my god, it's just a pedophile and simulation." Oh shit! I just said the word that's gonna get this. Well, we're not gonna get this post boosted, I bet. But there's just rampant criticism, and it's like, shut
Look, all
up.
that stuff, all the designers are obsessed with their horrific school experience.
Yeah.
That's why it's that every time. I mean, it's really easy to figure that out, right? I
Oh,
mean,
most
you can look
definitely.
at in their society, the way that school there is different from the way that it is here, and the way their society is different, and you can be like, oh, like after somebody finishes school over there, they're super relieved, super traumatized, and spend the rest of their life being like, oh, what happened? Oh my God, what happened? Like, I
That's
mean, that just seems really obvious to me.
that's definitely for the ones who had a bad experience. If they had a good experience, like you can tell that is the last time in Japanese society that you're allowed to be happy.
Yeah.
Like if you had a really good experience in high school in Japan, that's it. That's all your happiness the rest of your fucking life. And
You get permanent Yakuza boss resting bitch face for the rest of your life.
definitely. If you were unhappy, you spend your entire life trying to blame that as the problem and unpacking all your trauma. Because Japanese society is like, they're going to push us to that. They're doing it right now, and like
Oh yeah.
it's gonna be hilarious because just like in Japan, like the conservatives are just fucking panicked about the race birth rate.
Oh
When
yeah.
when like when like the literal answer is like, maybe just don't be conservative. Like
Well, you remember like all those fucking fawning articles in the late '90s and the early aughts where it was always like, American businessman, if you look at how hard the Japanese businessman works, look, here he is lashing himself. Look, here he is lashing himself with a chain to get the reports done. Like, you remember that shit, right?
yeah,
Like, they shoved that shit in our face. Like, I don't know what that was supposed to do. It seemed pretty obvious. I mean,
this Japanese auto worker doesn't even
mhm.
ask to go to the hospital after getting his arm crushed in machinery. He simply
Yeah,
works with the other arm. Isn't that impressive? Your American workers can't do that. And
sir, how does
oh,
it,
what's that?
how's it
Oh,
feel
he
now?
just killed himself. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
His replacement worked here 5 minutes and just killed himself. Oh, what's that?
yeah.
Oh, we got another one? Oh, he just walked in the door and shot himself in the face. How did he get a gun? Oh, we'll be right back. Okay, well, the 31st worker didn't kill himself. So see how dedicated the Japanese are. See?
There are aberrations though, like as much as a lot of that culture is similar to another piece of culture that you've seen, like like you got the high school thing, and all the anime and video games. There are aberrations. Like, did you ever fuck with Front Mission? Any?
Did I fuck with Front Mission? Front Mission 4, I think, was on the PS2. That's the one I played.
Yes. Okay, 4 is good, but 3 that was on I think PS1 3 goes all the way to the end, and you've like traveled around the world, and you've had all these like weird future like scenarios of war with mechs and shit.
Yes.
And for some reason, at the end of 3, it leads back to Washington D.C. and the mechs like fight at the White House and stomp it into dust like a kaiju battle.
Oh, I'm fucking here for that.
Like it came out of nowhere.
Oh shit, yeah.
It's not even really anti-American. It's like some other evil force has like taken over America from Washington, and now you have to fight that force. But I was just like, whoa, whoa, whoa! Like, it was the only Japanese thing that I'd ever played where the White House got destroyed, which happens in a shitload of American things, you know.
Yeah.
So it just really it came out of left field for me. Like I was like, I always enjoyed that last mission was okay, crush the White House like Godzilla falling over on it. Okay.
Listen, I'm here for it. That sounds badass.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
They were good. They were.
Human clothing!
I told you, no dead air, motherfucker.
I
No.
really hope that's playing on the fucking on the playback. Otherwise, it's just like you said, it's just like silence, and then we all just start laughing.
That's even better, though. Got their asses. Man. I don't know. I keep trying to think of who's a cooler final boss in the Persona, like 3, 4, and 5. Obviously, like, Persona 2 wins. The coolest final boss is obviously Nyarlathotep, because when Nyarlathotep shows up, everybody's having a bad time but Nyarlathotep. The player, the party members, the planet, the other demons. That's in Persona 2. Did you play Persona 2 at all?
Like I had a guy back then that was obsessed with them, and I would get to play them sometimes at his house, but only like all his files were maxed out, and he would just like show off stuff like, look, this is how you one shot this or that or whatever. Like I didn't get to play like the whole game.
Okay, I don't know if you know this, but in Persona 2, I think it's part 1 that like Nyarlathotep imitates Hitler, and you have to fight the Fourth Reich.
Fuck yeah.
It's fucking rocks.
Fuck yeah.
I'll say this: at least they were very clear that Hitler was the bad guy. Like, you watch a lot of anime shit, you're not sure. You're not sure who they're siding with. not in that one.
It's always nice when it's overt. Like they did that original Hellsing before the manga was finished, and it was like, okay, he killed some vampires. But when they finally did Hellsing Ultimate and it has the Millennium Nazis in it, you're like, yeah, now we're talking vampire Nazis. Okay.
And to their credit, no matter how cool they made Hitler look, they made sure you knew he was the fucking bad guy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I gotta tell you, check this out, dude. This is one cool Hitler. That is smooth. That is Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, there you go.
Look at
Yeah.
him. He's looking dapper. And then you gotta kick his ass.
They
I'm gonna
did
be
kind
clear.
of
I have played 0 Persona games. This whole conversation is otherworldly to me.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you all you need to know right now. Okay, have you ever played an RPG where you spend a lot of time like grinding stats so that your attack value will like be higher than an enemy's defense value, and like you can guess whether you're going to win the fight or not? Have you ever played like normal RPGs like that?
Yes.
Okay, Persona just puts a bunch of instant fucking death attacks in there all the time, so that like even if you do that, it's just like it just bends you over and just
Oops.
fucks you, and then you just quit.
Yeah.
Is it very analogous to like Dark Souls or whatever?
No.
It just makes you just have to reload your save like a lot of times.
It's a turn-based RPG. The way to think of the personas is job classes.
Yeah, I guess yeah.
That's what they
really
are.
it really is more like rock paper scissors than it is like number versus number.
Yeah, it's not D&D style. It is very clearly Japanese, like rock paper scissors gameplay. But
Like, do not get me wrong, I loves me those games, but
yeah,
man, they are just abusive.
they can be.
Yeah.
Okay, that one rules. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at the Hitler images from Persona 2. Hold on, I got this one. This one rules. That's there's Virgin Hitler versus Chad Hitler, and they are 100% correct.
Didn't he also pop
And
up?
look at the name at the bottom. I didn't edit it. I'm gonna put that. That's going on Twitter. That's a Twitter special right now.
Didn't he pop up at the end of like an NES game in the original Japanese version, and then in the American version they changed him to some kind of like watered down Hitler, like maybe Bionic Commando or something? Like I can't remember. Like I know there was a NES or Super Nintendo maybe title where it's supposed to be Hitler, just comes out of the end, but then they were like, no, you can't have Hitler.
In America, they couldn't call him Hitler, so they just had to, they had to give him a pseudonym nobody knew about. They had to call him Der Führer. Like that one wasn't fucking obvious.
Thank
Super
God
sneaky.
no one knows what that means.
Yeah, and
So
that
clever.
in the remake, the Shade one, which everyone hates, but that's my preferred one. Look at that guy, dapper.
Well, I mean,
the
you
other one
gotta.
looks sad.
You start out trying to be slick, but then you remember, like, okay, young people, like, might not know this shit or whatever. That's like, okay, like, I was doing my weird show, and I was like, I was gonna sneak Kissinger in there. But then I was like, nobody knows who fucking Kissinger is. So I just used, like, 5 fucking nicknames for Kissinger, just to, like, it's Kissinger! But at the back of my mind, I was like, somebody listening to this is still like, who the fuck is this old man talking about?
Oh man, yeah, fuck Henry Kissinger.
He's fucking alive, man.
It's insane. The conservatives are all wrong about adrenochrome and life extension technology, right?
Yeah.
Look at him. He doesn't take care of himself. Fuck, he's fatter than I am, and I look like a fucking. I swear to God, dude, right now I look like the fucking orcs from because I shaved my head, I shaved my beard. I look and like I'm still like overweight, so like I look like the orcs from fucking Shadows of War. I was in the mirror doing like faces, and I was like, Ranger. Oh, you want to fight the Dark Lord, do you? Oh, well, I'm gonna spread and clap them cheeks, I am.
You have a
Just
you have a
imagine
very
now.
high you have a very high value that the player has to roll in order to nemesis system you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a tough one. You get me though. I just say sexual shit to ruin it. Talion, oh, the Ranger with the parasite. How's it feel to have a dude inside you all the time, eh?
What's that shit? Do you remember when people cried about that, like, they fucking Monolith or somebody trademarked that shit? Like, they trademarked the idea or whatever of, like, you can't fucking... Somebody can work around that if they wanted to. Like, there's no fucking way you're gonna tell me that somebody couldn't put that exact same fucking system in a video game, just program it differently, and then say it's the not Nemesis system. There's no fucking way that you're coming after them in court. But that shit, man, people were like, this is the end. This is
Well,
the end of
actually,
video
it's funny.
games.
It's funny they couldn't because the Nemesis system wasn't that original to begin with.
Right, exactly. That's where I'm coming from here, is that it like, you can't... I mean, it's cool. It's cool, it works in that game. But it's not like, I just don't see that holding up in court, man. They were just talking
Yeah.
shit.
Part of it was they do that stuff with that kind of thing, like mini games. Like there's a reason
Now
you don't
that
get
one-
mini games and loading screens. It's kind of weird.
That one stuck. That one I can see. Like, where they explicitly... Wasn't it, who was that? Was that Namco?
It was like Namco or Midway or something. It was one of those classic one. Oh, those old ones.
Trying to think who that fucking was, and I'd swear it was a racing game that first had it.
Yeah,
Where you-
yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
You played like old arcade games that whatever publisher owns, like on the fucking loading screen. And then they were like, not so fast. This is fucking trademarked. That one I can see if somebody wants to fucking...
Another casualty of capitalism.
Right. If somebody wants to fucking point at that and cry about it, that is worth crying about. Faux show. But as far as a system inside of a game, I don't really fucking... You want to sue Monolith for something, sue them for not making fucking Xenogears 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to get off on a rant here, but
I want to get off on a rant.
Gears too.
But you don't
but
really,
go...
you don't
I
really
really
grind
wish
my-
they wouldn't have killed that 3D Chrono project.
Oh
Chrono Trigger.
yeah, God.
Really wish they would have did something with that.
That's the real hazard of me talking about video games, is that I'm so old and I've played so much video games that mostly just cry about shit.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't fall into that trap. I'm just gonna look at. I'm sorry.
What?
I just started looking up Yaldabaoth quotes from Persona 5.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Hit us,
fucking.
hit us with the best one.
What's the best one? I'm actually a really big fan of like this one, right? I release upon you the deadly sin of lust. You have no means of escape, humans. The insanity of mankind shall bring forth the demise. I kind of like that one because he's just like, you're all perverts. Fuck
Yeah, there you
you.
go. There you go. Yeah.
He rocks.
Oh, he's right.
Yeah, really. But like I don't know. When I keep thinking about the final bosses from like Persona 3, 4, and 5, like I have to leave Nyarlathotep out obviously because again, crawling chaos fan here. Can't
Oh yeah.
can't get over a guy who just like every time he shows up you're fucked. He might not be fucked now, but his mere presence means you are fucked.
How much of it? Okay, here's something I've always wondered and easily could have looked up, but I'm so fucking lazy.
Shoot.
How much of it does Chaosium Inc. or whoever? How does their trademarks work? How much of that shit do they own?
So with the Lovecraft copyright, there's a ton of shit. Here's how that one breaks down, right? There's a ton of shit that's in the public domain because copyright laws didn't change and start their cycle of changing to extend it forever until a certain point.
Right.
J.S. Toshi lines what you can do, and if you go to like the Lovecraft Historical Society website, you can read a ton of those for free on there. You can publish them yourself. You can do whatever you want with those, right? With Chaos Eum, I believe their dice system is the thing. Their game machinery is the thing that they have. And then
Ew.
whatever original content they've added to it is theirs.
So back when Eternal Darkness came out on the GameCube, and it instead of being like obviously Cthulhu, it was like Mantarok and shit. Like, why didn't they just go whole hog? Like, why did Bendiak curse himself and die like that by not properly respecting the old gods? I mean, like, why did it have to go that way? Like, that was always so weird to me because that thing is the best Cthulhu game, but it never says fucking Cthulhu in it.
Well, the short answer is they don't necessarily have to because you can just make your own Cthulhu type thing as long as you have
yeah,
the
yeah.
critical elements like insanity, alien monsters instead of hell monsters, or
Yeah, it's a
laughing
genre
mannequin.
now.
I can
Yeah.
I can hear the keyboard clattering right now as someone is typing that, like, you know, Sunken City or like the new Cthulhu, like that those are good or whatever. I'm sure they're fine. Okay, I got 5 minutes into each one, and I just looked over at the copy of Eternal Darkness like sitting on the shelf. Okay, like, I'm old. Okay, I'm sure those are fine, but after 5 minutes of each one, I didn't have time to finish playing it. So
Oh,
type away at me, but I did have time to play
I played
Eternal
Call of
Darkness because
Cthulhu. I
that
played
came
Call
out
of
when I was.
Cthulhu.
Was it good? Should I have finished that thing?
Uh, it was all right. It was serviceable. It's just you're getting more of what you tried.
I'm so old and I have so much job. I guess I just don't have time for serviceable.
It's not
anymore.
bad. It's not bad. It's just not like amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
It's got the powers are kind of cool. Like, so they give you some abilities or whatever that are really neat.
That's as your madness increases, right?
Yeah,
You have to start going nuts.
yeah.
Hmm.
And
So what-
it tries with the nutsness. It's just not enough.
yeah,
But it's cool if you. It's a rental title basically.
there you go.
Yeah, I'm live.
Yeah,
Yeah.
super live, hella live.
You pigs in human clothing!
Man, I got this. Hold on.
Got-
It,
you got 'em?
Trying to
right
find.
right off the dick, that thing
There we
was
go.
was
Hot Demon. There we go. I was looking for
There-
SMT Strange Journeys Hot Demon. Demon MILF. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Demon MILF. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I some of them, when we're doing the bit where we're like, I can fix her, and we can milk that for some laughs or whatever. But some of them, I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm not feeling it with that one.
What?
I can't even do the bit with Marjorie Taylor Greene,
No,
man. I'm
no.
just
And look,
like,
I just did. That's all. It's a one shot. I put it on Twitter. I'm live tweeting our own show. That way, like, we have like a companion. It's kind of like what we're doing right now is talking dead or talking head or talking bad or talking butt sex or whatever the fuck Chris Hardwick's doing now. I assume. To be fair,
starfishing. It's called starfishing.
yeah, talking
Okay.
starfishing. Like, first off, I just assume that at some point now the libs are in power. We're gonna get a show called Butt Sex. But
Oh
like,
yeah.
it's gonna be like some weird Victorian drama where it's like the first woman who had butt sex. Like that's gonna be the
Oh,
plot.
yeah.
Like women
That's
never did anal
exactly it.
before that, and then it's like gonna be about women's empowerment, and then like we're just gonna
I
see.
shouldn't have given you access to my screenplays.
You shouldn't. I did. Well, you know what? Good luck, man. If you can get that on HBO, man, you
Would
leave
that be Eve? It's gonna have a documentary on Eve.
yeah. But it's just gonna be like it's gonna be that, but then it's just gonna be entirely women getting raped, and women are gonna be like, this is so important for women. Like, just what? Like, what is wrong with liberals? Like, I really want to know that. Like, I don't know. Hold on, I'm trying to find a good. Oh shit! I got a good joke. Hold on. I gotta go. See, it's always for the guy. Spoiler alert, audience. I don't do jokes for you. I do I do jokes for you. Two jokes for the boys. Here, look, I found Joe Biden actually. He's in Atlas too. See, we all know Bernie Sanders is in Persona 5. What you don't know is that in the SMT universe, in the Mega universe, there's a lot of American politicians. They're very about it. Like, here's Joe Biden, guys.
Huh. Great photo of him.
I know.
This is our classic routine of like guys laughing at material that you can't see.
It's
Yeah.
a good one
people
though.
want.
It's a
It
very good
is.
one.
It
Yeah.
is.
Like,
Which persona is that one from?
oh shit, that is SMT4. Am I dumb? I
Four?
might be dumb.
Oh, okay.
Let
I
me
think
look.
I saw him in 5, something like that.
SMT2. I'm sorry. He was in 5 in that exact same pose.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yes, definitely.
I'm trying to find his picture from 5 though. That's a really, really good one. Persona
There
09.
was did you guys okay, here's one. Did you guys ever fuck with Killer 7?
No,
Yeah, the GameCube game.
Yeah. It was good. I mean,
Very, very neat.
I'm not gonna say it's a good video game to play, but it was definitely a good video game to see. All of the cutscenes and whatnot, and a lot of it was about American politics.
really.
And I must say,
I'd have to like go back
maybe
and play it again because I haven't played that in a long,
I mean maybe don't play it,
long time.
maybe just
Or maybe
watch
watch the
like
Let's Play.
yeah, or like of just the cutscenes or whatever. Like I don't know. I'm thinking I don't know. I'm seeing No More Heroes 3 being good.
Yeah, I
I don't
do
know.
the watch the gameplay because they'll get you on a David Cage or something, looking kind of like what is it,
Yeah.
Beyond Human kind of stuff, and
Yeah, there's no reason
like,
to
and you're
play
just
that
like,
stuff
why
at
am I
all.
even playing it at that point?
Yeah, you don't have to. You just watch the thing.
Like a very straightforward campaign. It's like, oh, okay, no
Yeah.
choice. Might as well watch it.
Yeah.
Man,
That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
that dude was on fire for a second, man. I remember
Yeah,
when
totally.
we played Indigo Prophecy, it was so fucking hip. About 80% of the way through, we were like, damn, this fucking owns. And then it gets to the end and it just turns into like a weird kung fu wire fighting scenario with like a space android or something.
Perfect.
Oh yeah.
That's everything about him.
Everything about that makes sense. I'm gonna start watching I'm gonna switch from fan service to pop girl anime.
Okay. Fair enough.
Zaki-chan
Okay.
wants to hang out. Fuck yeah.
Lucky-chan.
Zaki-chan, that was the one. Oh yeah, that was the one that caused the uproar because she's got giant boobs and she looks young. You know what's
There you go.
awesome? It's really awesome that millennials are starting to do the boomer thing where culture has to reflect them, or it's like
Showbiz?
fucking like too baby brained.
Well, we've come full circle. We've come all the way back to that fucking rabbit, man.
Yeah. Well, there's
Please explain this. What is going on?
well, like okay, so with Uzaki-chan, there was a big uproar on Twitter because she's got like big naturals and she also looks young, right? Because the premise
Okay.
is she's like what 20, right?
Yeah.
Which, like, let's face it, we're all basically 30 to 40 here. Like, that's really our age range when you boil it down. I know John hasn't quite crossed the threshold yet of no return, and I think Cenk, you're also on the cusp, correct?
Nope, crossed.
Oh, you're crossed.
Yep.
What year are you? You 89?
90.
Oh, you're 90. No shit. You just crossed. Wow. Okay. All right. So yeah, I think maybe John's it. John is our youngest because Jesus is 89. If we ever get him back on, he's so far gone fighting ISIS as part of the pump.
ISIS coalition.
No, it's part of the Pump Merga.
Ah,
It's the Peshmerga, but they fuck like a lot. But he's in the grandma division, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
We know what you're saying.
Is he stationed on the space laser?
Oh yeah. I got him stuck up there. That was my work. Fuck, what was I saying? Shit, my big dumb fucking brain. Right.
You were saying how young we all are.
Oh yeah. So like everybody
That
remembers.
we're young and we're hip and we're based Zoomers.
Yeah, we're all big Zoomers eating Tide Pods and doing TikToks and nihilism, but
I
also
just
charity.
ate a Tide Pod just now.
I'm eating one as we speak. And like everyone, you all remember OK Boomer, right?
Yes.
The real trick to that meme is that prior to the boomer generation, there was no generation. Nobody talked about generations with a title, as if that ascribes some sort of set of identity characteristics.
Right.
And
Except marketers.
Marketers, right? But even marketers didn't do it until boomers. And even then, it was well after boomers were established so that they could sell shit to their Gen X kids.
I felt like that I noticed it more after people started talking about it constantly. Like, okay, I
Yeah.
started to see like really like Beto-assed, Brett Kavanaugh-assed tendencies in the Gen Xers around my town, like who are, like mid-40s now, like sort of sorting things out. Like, I started to see those tendencies more after people started talking about it and pointing it out all the time.
Yeah, well, here's the trick to it, right? There are no other generations other than non-generational, everybody before the boomers, and boomers. Like, the boomer is the default mode of society. And one of the things that marks a boomer is an undue sense of entitlement. The other thing that marks a boomer, and this is the one that's presenting itself now in what we call millennials, us, or like if you like me, I'm at that weird line because of course this isn't a hard and fast thing. This is a cultural thing, right? It's a cultural formation. So I'm either a very early millennial, born in '86, or I'm a very late Gen Xer. Like I'm either the end or the fucking beginning, right? Depending on how
Right.
you look at it. I am Alpha or Omega, which is
Right.
cool. The millennials are now adopting.
They're so vague. They kind of just like throw a timeline on it all willy nilly, right?
Yeah, well, that's because again, you
And
and I.
Even then, like it doesn't necessarily taper off the way they act like.
Right. There is one more component of it that I like when I say it, you'll be like, no shit. But you'll also be like, I didn't think about it, but like also no shit. You know what I mean? One of those. But the cultural affectation is that we expect all media to appease us and reflect us. That's why MAGA's angry, and that's why the millennials are turning angry and cynical. And pretty soon, a lot of these fucking diehard leftists are going to be just like the fucking Gen Xers, just like the boomers. They're going to take this weird right shift because they're spoiled culturally. The only difference is, unlike the traditional actual boomers, the old people, they weren't spoiled economically and politically, right?
Right. With the culture. Yeah, you know what? We're going full circle now back to the manga VHS tapes, to Ninja Scroll and Ghost in the Shell. Okay, I would have to go to like Suncoast or whatever and give some asshole like $50 for like 2 episodes of fucking Ranma on a VHS, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then as we got older, we became inundated with an endless selection of import video games and anime and streaming services, and comic books became movies, and all this stuff happened. And it was just like, for years, I've been calling it nerd paradise. Like, the internet became incredibly powerful and good. Like, all these things happened that seemed to just like, if you told 14-year-old me that all this shit was going to happen.
I feel like that's a constant thing. The march of technology, unless you're in a dark age, you're gonna get that kind of thing.
Oh, but I mean, like, if you just compare, like video games now, I mean, my God, to what we had, oh my God, like this is truly like nerd paradise. Like all of our niche things became mainstream. Like, so I see what you're saying. If this ever ends, like, we'll be fine. We'll, be old and grumpy or whatever. But like, if this ever ends, there are people that are going to be like formless and drifting in the void.
It's always beginning and ending, because the trick is, like, if I think back to how young I looked at 18, 19, and 20, and I think of how young my girlfriend looked when she was 18, 19, 20, right? At that time. If I look at old pictures of my wife from when she was 18, 19, 20, we looked like fucking children to a 34-year-old's eyes because we're old.
Yes.
So when Uzaki-chan came out, when Jugs McKenzie came out, right? They freak the fuck out that she looks like a child. You're doing the P word that I can't say because I want this episode to be boosted, and which is stupid. I'm not calling anybody a P word, but I'm not allowed to say it. So we're already probably fucked. But in case I can salvage it, I don't want to say it again, right?
Yep.
But toss salad, man.
Yeah. So when she came out and she's supposed to be a bright and bubbly 20-year-old, honestly, outside of the gray hair, which is the part I always find like kind of shitty, because like, let's face it, if you're 20, you're just gonna dye your hair anyway. You're not walking around with gray fucking hair at 20. You're gonna dye your hair, especially if you have her personality. So it's like, I don't know why you're doing this, but like that's like, that was like the ideal girlfriend, a bright, bubbly, somebody who wanted to pay attention to you girlfriend at age 20. And she looked like that. She does look like a child now, but she's not a child, right? But in your fucked up little brains, because everything is either a representation of you or it's obviously bad in some way and problematic, you see, in your 34-year-old freak head, you see a child, not a real child, mind you, a 20-year-old, legally an adult. But if you've spent the last fucking 3 years on Twitter talking about how anybody who's 28 trying to fuck a 22-year-old is an R word, right?
Yeah, they're problematic.
Yeah, they're problematic. Yeah, oh yeah, there's a big discourse on Twitter. I'm just gonna say it. There's a lot of discourse on Twitter where if you're 28 and try to fuck somebody who's 22, you're a rapist and you're a predator.
Like I used to the term we used back then I thought was appropriate, like poachers, right?
Yeah.
Was the old term, was a guy who was out of school for years, had like a car and a place to hang out and shit, and then he would hit up people that either were like freaking like right out of high school or like just didn't have any of that shit. And it wasn't like the age difference that mattered. It was just that dude was established and had all that shit, and then he would swoop in and be Mr. Steal Your Girl because you didn't have any of that shit because you were just a fucking loser. Like, we called that guy a poacher regardless of the age difference. It was more about like just a progress difference.
Yeah, but that's
I mean, so like linguistically, the problem with that linguistically is like it does definitely 100% come from a position of like objectification. Like, it's a poacher in the sense that you feel entitled to that attention.
Oh yes, we definitely did. Yes, we were horrific. It was for us it was like right around 2000. So like we had grown up in the 90s where we were, me and everybody I knew, we were all like massive liberals, and we thought that like doing, some mild amount of like PC shit would like totally fix us as men and prevent us from having like thoughts of objectification and like all this primitive patriarchy shit. Still pretty much like just an impenetrable cement block at the core of our nervous systems. Is the kind of thing you figure out years later upon reflection that you were that awful. But in the moment, we were like, "Nah, man, I I got all these Grateful Dead bootlegs, and I like listen to girls."
Well,
like,
well, keep in
I'm
mind,
not like other guys.
keep in
yeah,
mind,
exactly.
if we were to speak in generalities for a moment,
Or if you were honest and you're like, I was stupid.
Yeah.
if we were to speak in
Forgive me, I
generalities
was
for a moment,
young.
the situation at hand was like young men back then, you can say felt entitled to, or felt like there was some undue pressure being put on these women. So it's care, it's toxic care again, right? We have this idea of toxic care
Yeah.
floating around the 90s and the 2000s. Well, now that these women are older and they're not in that position where these older men are hitting on them, right? Now, these younger women, where that's where these older men are attracting, right? They're now using that same toxic care argument that they heard and shot down in the 90s and 2000s, even up to like 2010-ish, and now are turning that and twisting it around. So any of these effigies of younger women, well, clearly it's because you're into children, which is just like, no. The problem here is that culturally speaking, just like with the Japanese, we value youth over old people, and younger women are going to feel the brunt of male sexual energy, right? Positive or negative, they're going to feel the brunt of it. And
These are
that sweet
these
spot is between like 18 to 25.
these are all such heterosexual dynamics too. We really need some really interesting people on here that I feel like would just nuke us right now with like a
No.
completely fresh perspective.
The gay dynamic is the same. Don't let anybody fool you. I have enough gay friends to tell you that. I'm gonna totally pull a Zizek right here. I have enough gay
Ooh,
friends.
which gay friends? You sure it's a friend you're talking about?
What's that? Well, there's my
You
boyfriend.
sure you're talking about a
There's-
friend?
Yeah, there's my boyfriend, obviously, and then his boyfriend, and then I'm also banging that guy. And then there's the guy my wife brings over for me to bang so she can watch me bang him. And then there's like there's a guy who used to be my DM and used to be my boss over at a card shop. I won't name him. There's a lot of theater people I work with. Like that dynamic exists. That's not see, that's there right there. What you did was that toxic care shit. Like,
Yeah,
oh no, it's
I demonstrated it.
yeah. Well, no, you just got me on the plastic homophobia, which I'll just play into. I don't give a shit.
I love the
Dude, if I were
idea that
banging
anybody
dudes,
that
if I were banging dudes, I would be quite the catch. Okay, that's all I'm saying. He would look like a fucking ogre. That guy'd be very happy. I cook.
I love the idea that anybody that's listening that doesn't know who Slavosh is just thinks that Zizek is a, and
Zizek.
now they think that a Zizek is like a gay sex act.
Yeah, hopefully. That
Where
would
you're
be
like,
awesome.
I'm gonna pull a Zizek here.
He would no. A Zizek.
Are you?
You,
Are you gonna pull one of those? Have you stretched? I mean, be careful.
I would love to see his response to that.
Yeah, the Zizek is when you argue from the anecdotal, but I can tell you, like I know, like yeah, it's the same. They value youth too. That's American culture. That's the only people who don't are aces, and aces don't want to fuck anybody. So that's like not, you know, like trying to attribute it to them specifically. No, so the generality doesn't work in that one pocket instance. But like, yeah, that's the problem. So you have these millennial women who see Uzaki-chan and they go, "Oh my God, that looks like a child. You're all fucking disgusting if you like this." When in reality, she's 20. That's perfectly legit. Whether or not you should pursue 20-year-old women in real life, no, I kind of do fall to the idea. Like I'm still a child in the 90s too. I kind of feel like you should be playing within your own age range or your own generation at the very least.
At least
But-
have
I
something
don't
to
know.
talk
I don't know.
about.
When I was 20, I was like, oh, these 20 girls is too much.
Yeah, no, you remember me. I was all about them.
Fucking, I think about aces a lot. Do you guys think that we can just assume that 100% for certain, if aces ever organized against like everybody else, that they would just fucking destroy us in every single possible? Like, okay,
without a
they
doubt,
would-
they're not distracted by any of the bullshit.
right. We would lose economically. We would lose artistically, creatively. We would just lose at everything in
Yeah,
any
the
fair
problem from my
competition.
experience with most of my ace friends is that they're just fucking depressed.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah.
If we ever actually figure out how to fix the human brain,
Whoa, that's a Hitler. Woo, time out. Oh boy. Holy
I
shit.
don't mean it like that.
Oh, well,
Calm
listen,
down.
Twitter's not going to hear it like that, okay? Whoa.
Depression is a chemical imbalance.
Surprised you got the
Absolutely,
second
in
one.
a lot of
You
ways.
got the second
Maybe
one. Nice.
Medical
start
solutions have
with
helped
that.
many people. We encourage you to speak to medical professionals in this
Maybe
show.
maybe start with that next time, please.
Counseling and medical professionals are very helpful for people with mental health issues.
Up to
There
and,
was a guy,
and
I can't
including
even think
finding
who.
Uzaki-chan attractive.
Up
There
to
was
and
a-
including finding Zaki-chan attractive.
Yes.
There was a guy on Twitter
Whoa.
that posted some kind of ludicrous like suicide threat or something. It wasn't even a suicide threat. It was just like he was gonna jam like spikes into his eyes or something. And
Oh,
Twitter
because he
came
wanted
back.
to masturbate. Yeah.
And Twitter came back with that message that said like, "We care about you. We're concerned about you," or whatever. And it shows his message on the screen. I love the combination of those things,
Yeah.
where it's like just a guy saying some kind of ludicrous like self-harm thing that like is like a cartoon character, like the old Looney Tunes characters doing to themselves or whatever. And then Twitter's like, "Hey, calm down." Like, don't jab spikes into your eyes, man. Like I can't remember exactly what your account is, but that shit owned. Like, shout out if you're
To
listening.
bring it all back full circle here, it's gonna be okay, America. It's gonna be okay if you want to fuck the rabbit. You know, Bugs Bunny looks pretty good in drag.
Oh my god, the rabbit thing.
Yeah, you just gotta let it roll with the punches here, America. It's gonna be okay.
The fucking
Like they
fucking
they just it's like they have like targeting vision now. Like whenever somebody's like talking in public, they're like, "Hey, you remember Space Jam? Oh yeah, I remember that." Like somewhere like some kind of fucking DNC Terminator satellite is just like boop boop target acquired, and then like somebody at Netflix Central or whatever gets an email that's like do Space Jam. You know, and like they already bought all the rights and shit. They're ready. They bought all the rights to everything already. They're just waiting to see what some asshole talks about for 5 minutes. And then they're like, okay, that's the one. That's it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that checks out.
I guess there's some shit they're not gonna touch.
Yeah, when they start screaming, make something new.
Yeah.
Well, they're not going to scream make something new because the culture is dying. It's dying
Yeah.
and folding in on itself. Like the biggest one, I guess we have a few minutes. We can talk tabletop gaming just a moment. I think because Cenk, I am interested in your opinion on this primarily.
Okay.
How do you feel about Universes Beyond?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. First
Oh, the Walking Dead is now Magic the Gathering, and so is Warhammer 40k, Lord of the Rings, basically Harry
Okay.
Potter and Godzilla.
Okay, I did vaguely see about this. I didn't realize what you were talking about. Yes, so I kind of don't care too much. Like, what is Magic the Gathering if not already a D&D ripoff placed on a cardboard game?
Considering it's made by the D&D people, yeah.
It wasn't originally.
It wasn't originally, no, but now it is, and they've definitely merged the IP.
And the original set, if you look at it, it's literally just D&D, and they're like, how can we turn this into a card game, right?
So wait,
Yeah.
you tell me TSR bought that shit after it blew up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it was probably one of their
Wow.
best decisions in a long time.
I
Absolutely.
did not know that shit.
It's the only profitable division at Hasbro. That's why they want to make it a division and they reap all the profits.
Oh
Yep.
my god, that's so much like Rockstar cranking out fucking Grand Theft Auto dispassionately and then turning around and making like their little vintage like LA Noire and Red Dead, like that's so
Yeah.
much like that shit. That's like every big creative thing now.
So yeah, I mean, do I get a little bit old man jank, right? Sitting on my porch being like, these kids, I should have been swinging with gray ogres that I cracked my Black Lotus for. Yeah, absolutely. But like, I recognize that that's a negative tendency in myself. And, some people like The Walking Dead and they want to see those products and entities interact with each other. And that's fine with me.
Yeah,
When did you quit The Walking Dead?
I never got into The Walking Dead.
season 5.
Like it.
Season 5?
Season 5.
Okay.
Last good one.
I
I
Even
literally never watched it.
I will look at any special
I,
effect
I was a
that.
fan of the comic stuff.
Oh
It
yeah,
always
those are
seemed like,
good.
yeah. So like I'd pop my head in and be like, hey, what's going on over here? And then disappear again.
In the comic form, I read the
quick
first two
quick break.
omnibus.
It's a dumpster fire.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gets off the rails pretty quick.
It's up to season 5. I enjoyed.
At least
Season
they didn't
3
Game
was
of
bad.
Thrones ending it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've read the. How far did I get? I got to the comics. I got to the Whisperers.
Okay.
Because that's the second omnibus takes you up to there, and then I need a third omnibus to catch up all the way. In the show,
I left
I
off about where you are.
I watched up into season 8 because my wife would always put it on. She loved it for a very long time, and she would hate watch it when it got bad for a very long
Yeah.
time. But as soon as season 6 started, I was like, this is actually shit. This
Like
is
the thing about
pulp.
it is Greg Nicotero doesn't do anything
He's a,
bad ever.
but he's a special effect artist, so like he is
Right,
making the
right,
show worse. That's the problem.
right. Like I would look at the props that he made and the zombies that he made, and I would look at that stuff forever because
Yeah.
I'm just a sicko. I would just look at that stuff forever. But
Okay.
after a while, it felt like you were watching like just a big padded fucking nothing sandwich with like, oh, here's the cool zombie. Oh, this one it was in the water for a long time. You know, like
Yeah.
it obviously became that, you know.
It's
These are desiccated zombies. They're very dry. You know, like it just
Yeah.
became like that's what I wanted to see. And there wasn't very much of that. Although there were some good nods to, okay, there's some point where the lady who's British, but really she's from Georgia in the show, is like running through like a dark tunnel and she like waves her flashlight across the face of a zombie. And it's literally the zombie Bob from like the original like Day of the Dead. Like there are cool references to old zombies. There's so much cool stuff there, but I just couldn't put up with the rest of the show. And I think I probably bailed around like 6 or 7.
You're
yeah.
not the only one.
No, that's the thing. Like that show, it's one of those things. Like when Rick went from good guy to good guy.
Did you guys watch it chronologically? Because I watched it like randomly.
I watched it chronologically. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like when Rick went from good guy, good guy, good guy, tormented guy, demon Rick. I was like, the way to end that show would have been to have Rick become Negan
Right.
in season 5. Like season 5 should have been him becoming Negan, and then just that's it. That's the show now. We're done.
Then that
what are
would
they
be
doing?
that would be acknowledging that you're gonna end it, and they had no
What are they
plans
doing
on
there?
ending it.
I know every amateur pop culture examiner on the entire interwebs already has figured this out or whatever, but like, what are they doing there? Red scarf, he does a decimation all the time when he meets people. It's Caesar, right? It's a Caesar thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's kind of what I thought, but like I don't know. That's another thing. That's another thing. Like they vacillate between trying to have heavy commentary about the rebuilding of society and the clash of ideologies in the post-apocalyptic scenario, but it all completely gets like washed out and blotted out by performances that in some cases are like strong and interesting and in some cases like kind of bad, and like you're just so focused on like this actor and like all this stuff that's happening that like I'm like, I don't even know why you bother with the red scarf and the decimations. Like, why not just, just have that guy stand there and look like that guy, because that's what you're really saying. What you're really saying is a guy.
Gets clicks.
What you're really saying is that a guy that looks like Jeffrey Dean Morgan is going to be in charge. That's what you're really saying because you've cast him. You've cast the role, right?
Yeah. No, that's it. There's a lot of it's driven just like any other soap opera. It's driven on star power, it's driven on melodrama, and it's driven on really feeding its liberal audience back what they want to see.
Did you ever see the super dope thing that Norman Reedus was in way back in the day? He was in this it's an episode of Masters of Horror. It's called fuck, I can't remember what it's called, but it's an episode of Masters of Horror where he's looking for this thing called like Le Fin Absolute du Monde, like the fucking absolute end of the world. It's this movie that if you watch it, you go insane.
No, but that sounds
Man,
Wait, so
he's
they did The King in Yellow as a movie? That's badass.
yes, yeah, it is. It's awesome. He's dog shit in it. Just terrible, but it is so good. It just you do not care how bad he is. And I wish I could say what director it was, because you remember the old Showtime Masters of Horror? They would like rotate off directors, right?
Yeah.
And I wish I could tell you it might be Carpenter, but oh man, he is just abysmal. But there's still something charming about him, really. Like, I think you can look all the way back and you can know
What's up?
they're gonna take this sorry ass nerd and put him on a motorcycle and a leather jacket.
It is John Carpenter's Cigarette Burns. Masters of
Cigarette
Horror.
Burns is the name of it. Oh god. Okay, yeah, it's
Google,
fucking
Google
amazing.
for the win, baby.
Dude, it is so fucking good.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, obviously a lot of those are good.
yeah.
Fuck, Takashi Miike had one of those that was excellent. And the lead in that was also just horrible. Like, there's a reason that the lead is the lead in the Takashi Miike one. He's some kind of famous horror guy or something. But you know, sometimes when a Japanese director casts an American actor, and you know that everybody was just nodding along, like, "Oh yeah, that guy, yeah, that's good English that he's speaking right now." And like, they just had no idea, dude. But like, yeah, that one's really good too. To anyone
Yeah.
listening, if you ever go back for Showtime's Masters of Horror, watch Cigarette Burns and watch the Takashi Miike one, and then you're probably done. There's a lot of other good ones, but you ain't gotta. Those two, though, you gotta.
They did Dreams in the Witch House, which was pretty good.
Oh, right. Okay.
They did that one.
I'm trying to think. Was that the Joe Dante one?
I'm gonna look it up. Oh, Dreams in the Wish House. That one was really good, and the band one was fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, it was good. Yeah, you know they're all good. Those two are the tentpole ones for me, but they're all good, really.
Yeah. Let me see.
I mean, I've never consumed any short horror media, is what I meant to say. What I meant to say was my show that I make is completely original and not derivative of anything, and I've never consumed any horror material. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
That's like
Ever?
Ever. Because I wanted for my show to be completely original and not derivative of anything.
Right. Yeah.
that checks out.
That's what we're doing here. All right. All right, boys. We did another hour and a half. Man, we're fucking crushing it at the extra
Fuck
content.
yes. That's what you call podcasting, motherfuckers. That's what you fucking call that shit.
Yeah, and you know what, audience? This is what I had to say to you. You better enjoy it.
You pigs in human clothing!
That's never gonna die. That stays
No.
with us till I'm dead.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Last thing here, I just want to do some shout outs. First off to the Babby Cast. They're on episode 2. That's a buddy of mine. It's good stuff. You should listen. We're gonna try to bring them on one night, help boost them, and then when they get bigger than us, and invariably we're gonna try to have them return the favor.
They're doing
We're
good,
gonna
man.
just steal them and say that we made them.
Yeah.
They're doing good, man. I hit them up the other night, and I'm still thinking about the bathing in the hand sanitizer and just being completely inundated with it
Yeah.
is the only way.
Well, the only problem they had a factual problem that Stalin was my wife, not theirs. So I got to take it up with their fucking management. Podcast. Now we outnumber them, so it's like 5-2, 5-3 max. So we got their asses, but I'm gonna have to take it up with them to see if we need to go that far. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course I'm at Ketzeran if you want to follow me, and we're on twitch.tv/Sons of Trier, the youtube.com, where we post, among other things, remixes and the live stream. If you want to watch it there, that's at the Sons of Trier official page, and of course our homepage where we post the memes, those sweet, juicy memes, all the memes. Sometimes we even make them ourselves. We're so good at memes. That's at facebook.com/SoTrierCast. You can also follow True Horror 69 if you want more Sons of Trier content, and you want more of the True Horrors content for his private show. And I believe there's an Instagram I'm missing, Eat the Rich, can you help me out with that?
Oh, Darius Art, Darrias Art, and
Excellent.
that's at Instagram.
Yeah, and remember, we are the Sons of Tree Air, Trier. If you just say it, it's going to come up with Tree space AIR, and it's funny but wrong.
Yes. The Sons of Tree Air is like it's a totally different thing. It's actually a rap group, and they're making a weed joke.
Yes.
So that's
Yeah.
also us, but it's still a different thing.
And we can't fight them for reasons.
No, yeah, reasons.
They're tough. They're tougher than us.
They're full of tree air.
Yeah.
I mean, they're on that gas. They pack that loud. I mean, there's nothing. They can't feel the blows.
Just send some gay fish at him.
Yes, we'll get them that way. All right, and I'd like to say just one more thing to the audience before we go tonight.
Fear is freedom. Subjugation is liberation. Contradiction is truth.
Yeah,
It checks out.
that's entirely factual. And Satsuki Kiryuin is actually the new Stalin, so we need to listen.
Yeah.
All right, bye. Love you. Don't die.
Good night, everybody.
That's how you